Hey guys, we're going against Thundergod Raiden here. I know I just did Thundergod Raiden with Demolition Sonya, but I haven't done it with Kitana in a while. And since it's the hardest one, there's some appeal in doing it again first. Shouldn't be too bad on normal, but run hard here, but it's still pretty dangerous, but on very hard it's always a slugfest or a me getting obliterated fest. Something like that. I guess I'm gonna try streaming The Binding of Isaac, since I can't make videos longer than 15 minutes, but if I stream it puts up the video at longer than 15 minutes, so I might as well do a run or two of that, and I might talk over it, just for fun. Obviously I can't monetize anything right now, so there's no incentive for me to do it, other than curiosity. To see if anybody watches it. I played some DMC earlier, so that's probably gonna go up before this. I'm not sure how the stream buffer videos work. Sometimes one of them took a while to go up, the other one seemed to go up part of the way. Don't understand the difference, but hopefully this video doesn't take forever to go up. We should have 2 or 3 more. Oh, okay. Well, I meant to do this at the start of the video, but let's do it now. I saw Sicario last night. It's a very good movie. If you've ever seen Traffic or The Counselor, it's basically in that same vein, i.e. Mexican drug trade, everything is fucked, and so forth. I mean, No Country for Old Men is in that same setting, but it's not. That's not really the archetype of the movie. But these other two, or the other 3 movies, definitely follow that pattern much closer. Sicario's sort of like, well, it's a cross between Black Hawk Down, No Country for Old Men, and The Counselor. The atmosphere is very heavy the entire time, basically. You get the impression that nothing's gonna go right for anybody. That's basically how it was in The Counselor as well. So that's the main reason why it's similar to that, apart from the setting. And the reason why it's like No Country for Old Men is Benicio del Toro's basically playing Anton Chigurh. The boogeyman, the gun for hire that everyone's terrified of. Same idea. He's not as villainous, I guess. He's still pretty villainous. He's American villainous, I guess. He's not an American in the movie, but he's got that that working for the devil vibe that people often have when they're like working for shady government agencies and so forth. That's more or less what he's got going for him. But he definitely has some really intimidating scenes. And Benicio del Toro's he's like 6'3" in real life, so he's pretty tall. A fairly large gentleman. He's not super buff as far as I know, but maybe he buffed up for this movie. That's entirely possible. But his main method of interrogating people is just walking up, well, staring at them and sitting close to them. Everybody knows who he is, and everybody's terrified of him, because I guess he's a legendary hitman or something. For the well, he's from Colombia, let's say that. There you go. I'll try not to spoil the movie too much, but there's one scene in the dining room that's probably like top 50 scenes all time. It's almost good enough where you could watch it out of context and still get the full value. I think what makes a scene sort of timeless is the ability to watch it without understanding what's going on from the rest of the movie and still get a ton out of it. And that's That's definitely how that scene plays out. But a few other examples of scenes like that are the final scene in A History of Violence, which very nearly got William Hurt an Oscar nomination for a 10-minute performance. The Alec Baldwin speech in Glengarry Glen Ross. That's another one. I'm not sure if that got an Oscar performance. I believe it got a Golden Globe nomination, an Oscar nomination, sorry. But that was like a 6-minute scene, and that one's certainly very famous. A lot of modern businessmen use it as motivation. So it's such a terrible thing to do. The scene is very, very harsh. And it might be an accurate portrayal of capitalism as far as how vile it can be. And the other two scenes I always go to are the two scenes with Gene Hackman and Saul Rubinek and Richard Harris in the jail in Unforgiven. And I do think Unforgiven is the best movie ever made, but that's just my opinion. I think objectively it's probably like top 5. Seven Samurai might be a little bit better offhand, and maybe like either Godfather movie if you prefer, or Shawshank. But Unforgiven's definitely my top movie. You could even argue for Once Upon a Time in the West, but I think Once Upon a Time in the West has slightly worse pacing than Unforgiven does, but they're both exceptional movies. Like the opening scene of Once Upon a Time in the West is something like 45 minutes of a windmill churning. It might be a half hour of a windmill churning and very close photography of people with like bugs on them and stuff. And while it's an interesting scene, it doesn't need to be that long. You can make a long scene out of 15 minutes or 10 minutes. But all the scenes I previously mentioned are not super long scenes. But you might want to look up A History of Violence ending or Unforgiven jail scene. Those are really fantastic things to watch. I'm sure we've gone way over 5 here. Sorry about that. Let's move into very hard, and I'll actually pay attention. I'll do 5, I guess. I don't really expect to win in 5, but if I do, so be it. If I don't, that's okay. It's always a challenge. But yeah, go and see Sicario, go see Black Mass. And Pawn Sacrifice is pretty good if you have any vague amount of interest in chess. Did I say chest? In chess. There's been a long discussion of the new Street Fighter V character Laura and her magnificent memories, and people are really offended by it. How dare you? How dare you make a fighting game that has pandering female characters? That's never happened ever. So that stuff is really entertaining because it's just so counterintuitive. I mean, I understand the concept, but it's not the audience where it would actually make a difference or matter to anyone. But well, I guess they call them social justice warriors. That's the phrase for that kind of person. Look, I have no problem with social justice. I believe in absolute and total equality across everyone, with the only discrepancy being merit based on aptitude. So no one should ever judge anyone except by how smart they are, pretty much. It doesn't matter what they look like, who they are, how old they are, how young they are, etc. None of that matters. But what matters is how smart, how useful you are. That's what matters to me. That's what should matter to everybody. Of course, that's not how society works. So there is no real benefit to merit or intelligence. But anyway, so that's why I was on that train of thought earlier. And Raiden's kicking my ass again. Surprise, surprise. He just went straight for the overhead. I didn't have any time to make a decision. Raiden's 50-50s are pretty fast. Maybe amongst the fastest in the game. So while they're not too hard to block, especially offline, If you time it perfectly, the meaty timing, it can be difficult. It's basically just a guess on the opponent's part. Of course, Raiden's overheads are unsafe, and his low is not. Or if it is unsafe, it's very, very tight as far as how you would punish it, and who would be able to punish it with. Oh, come on. Just give me nothing. I kind of want to play unpatched, just to see how much damage Raiden's AI does. I don't know if unpatched has the same Raiden AI, but he's been hard for a long time, so I would assume so. There's an instant overhead there. Didn't work, but I did it, so must have had some sort of. I don't think I had any way out of that. Well, at least he did this fatality. This is one of the better ones in the game. It does make the same sound effect. Everyone has the same choking on Raiden's sound effect. It doesn't matter what character you're playing.
Fatality. Round 1, fight.
Alright. Okay. Well, we could still lose, but we are in pretty good shape here. I'll keep focusing. Gotta win one. Well, I mean, I timed that pretty perfectly. I just did the ideal counter move, so. Like, I had it, I escaped the run at the exact right time to where if he was doing a normal string, I would have killed him. And I didn't hold forward there, so that's why I didn't get the brutality. That doesn't explain why I was facing the wrong direction after the fatality happened, or after the end of the match. I don't understand why that happened, but it looked kind of funny. All right, we're gonna do one more, and that'll be it for this video. Oh man, that would have been so sick if I got it. But you could see some weird juggle behavior in the corner. That was obviously completely impromptu. It's not really a reliable setup or anything. But it was possible to complete that combo. It was extremely tight because the gravity scaling was way off the mark. But I believe I'm dead. I don't have any way to break, so yeah. He can do a brutality off of that second spark attack there, but he didn't do it. Alright, I'm gonna push the limit and see if I didn't go over 15. Try one more. Because it's always fun going against very hard Raiden. Seeing how well I stack up this time around. That almost never happens, so. Okay. Again, we're in good shape, but it's not a guarantee. There's no... Except for very low chip health, there's no guarantees against this hard of a comp. Especially when something like that happens. I did stand up, but it wasn't fast enough. Alright, we got him. Okay. That's gonna do it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you tomorrow.